Hey my heathens out there in the digital land of YouTube, how's everything going with you guys? Hopefully well. It's Tuesday and I am taking the day off work. I'm doing some audio for 2 different drawings today, so that is what's going on with me. What we got here today is a thick BATGIRL. In all the right places, right? I don't think Barbara Gordon ever looked so good. I think the coolest thing I did with this picture is a little bit later on, the color schemes. I used a lot of primary bright colors, especially with that kind of stylized Art Nouveau design in the background. So, what do you, if any of you are artists out there, make YouTube videos, what do you listen to while you draw? I never really listen to music. I usually stream videos in the background, and I stream a lot of GQ, who does these walks through Tokyo, which I really like, because they're long also, so I don't have to get up or make a playlist. I can just start listening to them. And then another one I've been watching or listening to lately is Creep Catchers. And so it's like a phenomenon in Canada. So in the US, like 10 years ago or whatever, they did Dateline did a show called To Catch a Predator, where Chris Hansen would go on and they'd make these sting houses and catch dudes who were trying to go online and meet little kids to have sex. And it was really a riveting and interesting show. I couldn't believe there were so many of these people that would do this. You know, there was well over 100 that they caught on the Dateline show To Catch a Predator. But then it took off to in Canada, where you have these vigilante groups called the Creep Catchers, and they have chapters all over the place, like Surrey and St. John, and basically all over. And it is crazy with how many these guys catch. And they do this like in their spare time as a hobby. And they don't always call the cops, which I think it's pretty interesting. They put it on into the public court of YouTube and release these videos. Now they've had a couple like crazy things happen where they put on the name of the wrong guy, which is man, that would just suck, right? Because they don't vet him quite as well as they probably should. But that's only happened a few times. And just watching these videos are addictive to see what kind of just crazy excuses these scumbags come up with. You know, like, I was gonna meet with them and then call the cops. You know, and what he's talking about is meeting with a 12-year-old for all this nasty sex hookups that they start talking about. So I started getting into watching these, and then I found out they also do it in England, where they have these groups. And wow, what's the one I was just watching? It's called Guardians of the North, or Child Protectors, or you know, they have all these different names. And there's these groups. There's tons of them. It's not like it's like it was with Chris Hansen, where it's just like one dude and, you know, a TV show. It's people with like cell phone cameras, and they go online and catch these guys. And in England, every time they call the cops, and they put them under citizen's arrest, and the guys get all weird and like try to run and stuff, and they're like, "I'll put you on the ground, mate," right? Because they're gonna go like tackle them if they try to escape, because they're waiting for the cops will show up. You know, they call the cops in England Old Bill, or the constables, to show my English accent's horrible, to show up and get these guys. So that's my current guilty pleasure to listen to while I'm drawing. GQ, and then these pedophile hunters. So if you want to check out something pretty crazy, you should check these out. And the ones in Canada are amazing because most of the dudes they catch watch the creep catchers, right? And so then they're like, the creep catcher guys will show up and they'll be like, "Oh no, I thought it was you. That's why I came," right? It's like, yeah, you're an absolute spastic if you came because you thought we were gonna be here and bust you. But it's totally worth watching. They're brutal, and also the Canadian accents are awesome. They sound almost exactly like American accents, but they use certain words that we don't use in the States, and it's awesome. Like, they say "a boot" all the time. You know, South Park wasn't kidding. That's really a Canadian thing. And then they also, when they catch the bad guys, they have all these other terms for, you know, for these basically child molesters, and they call them skinners and goofs. And so they'll be doing these interviews, and I guess they've been getting so famous in Canada that they'll be talking to the guy like outside a mall or a grocery store, you know, the guy they caught. And then you'll hear just people, randos, in the background yelling out things like, "You're done, bud! You're a goof! Yeah, get that Skinner!" Because they've become like, the hunters have become like minor celebrities. Anyways, that's something I watch while I draw stuff like this. In fact, when I draw anything, I'm usually watching YouTube videos or listening to them. So anyways, my heathens, I'll talk to you later. I hope you liked this drawing. Thanks for listening to me rant and talk about YouTube videos that I watch. And go check out the creep catchers. They're at the least entertaining, and at the best providing a public service that the police necessarily aren't taking the time to do. It's worth watching. Alright, my heathens, J4D3 out of here. Peace, be good, and I'll talk to you later.